Good Sunday morning. It's hashtag everyone talking about hashtag everything.
That's right.
I'm Kate Doherty with the Radical Ryan and the Practically Perfect Penny. And the Magnificent Mac we are Macless.
Macless.
And lovely Laura has Luftus.
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 That's right.
And anyway, however, we
okay.
three, not kings of
I was
Orient,
going to say, I'm about to say that too. We three kings.
maybe. Oh, you want to see me? That's good.
Nice.
So, okay. So he had to move the mic. For those of you listening
That's
on the
okay.
radio,
Yes.
he
seeing
had
us.
to move the mic. So anyway, if you're listening today, thank you for listening to the show. Today is December 7th, which means we're getting closer to Christmas. But more than that, we are essentially 1 month and 3 days away from Rhinestones and Radio.
Awesome.
And you can get those tickets at up@downcountry.com.
That's right.
Again,
up@downcountry.com.
Or you can call 217-617-3568.
What is that again?
217-617-3568.
He does a good job at that.
He does do a good job at that.
I'm
does.
sure he says it in his sleep
I
too.
do, actually.
Yeah. Okay. And so when we came into the show this morning, they asked me like what we wanted to do. And I said, guys, actually, first of all, let me back up.
Oh, pause.
Every year for Rhinestones and Rodeo, there's a different scripture verse that goes along with Rhinestones and Rodeo.
Yeah.
And it comes at different times of the year. This year, our scripture verse, and since today's Sunday, I feel like it's appropriate, is 2 Corinthians 12:9, which is, "But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me."
I like that.
I do too. I liked it a lot. It just kind of
Yeah.
Makes you
popped out.
ponder.
And, well, it does, because it's so interesting. Because when you think about Down syndrome in particular, or you think about other disabilities, very often people perceive that as a weakness. Now, my son, which I wish he was here, and he did want to be here today, and I'm like, I'm sorry, buddy, not today, but soon he will be back on the radio show. He considers Down syndrome his superpower.
I love that.
And I will tell you that I actually don't disagree with him. I don't disagree with him. I believe what others perceive as weakness is actually his strength. God always, when he closes a door, he always opens a window. And I feel like I get to see that every day through watching Elliot kind of interact with the world and with life. And it's a gift. It's a gift.
So can I add something to that? Because I think it's all on how you, excuse me, look at things. If you look at it as a positive, guess what? It's going to be a positive. If you look at it as a negative, it's going to be a negative. Just recently, my little grandson was doing something and he was amazingly stubborn. I mean, stubborn.
Have you met his grandma?
Have you met his
Good
mother?
point.
Who also
point.
is an offspring of her mother. Yes, you're right. Absolutely. And I just did what I do. And I go, wow, he sure is confident.
Yeah.
And my daughter's like, Mom, I'm on to you. I'm like, yes. She goes, that's just a really nice way to say that he's stubborn. I go,
right.
but he's very confident. He's very confident. It's just what God gives you. You figure out how to make it work. He doesn't give you all rainbows and Skittles. He gives you some things that you have to kind of be challenged by.
Well, I'll be
And
honest.
So there you go.
I want to be my 15-year-old daughter. Like, I feel like, I mean, you do learn a ton from your kids, but I do. I mean, her confidence. I mean, I actually wish I had some of that, which you can say, what, you aren't confident? I second guess myself all the time on the daily. But, anyway, all is well and good.
Well, the same thing. They can say about my 3-year-olds. I mean, we got snow, right? We were walking inside the other day, and I mean, you live here, you know it. It is what it is, but it's kind of blah, snowed, great. My kids were like, oh, it snowed. And they were all excited, and they wanted to touch the snow. They wanted to play in the snow. They wanted to do this, and I'm like, I need to just have your perspective on all of this, because I'm like, I'm worried about scraping off the car and blah, and it stinks. But they're like,
being a grown-up is stinky.
Oh, it's terrible.
It is stinky.
Terrible. Whoever tried to pitch you being an adult's good.
Yeah, no. I'd like to turn in my adult card most
100%
days.
I would. So yeah, no, I'm with each of you. It's how you look at things. It's how you look at things.
Yeah.
Anyway, and so when we were talking about today's show and what we wanted to do, we haven't ever done it. It's kind of like a year in review because there is a reason we need you to come to Rhinestones and Rodeo. There is a reason we need you to sponsor Rhinestones and Rodeo or Downcountry, or why we need you to donate silent auction items or any of the things. And that is because of what is happening right here in this community. I mean, so this past year, we donated 90 iPads to tri-state area kiddos who did not have a voice. And we did this so that they could begin to work with their therapist and with their teachers. That's above and beyond and outside of what we typically would do. And that's a lot. That's an extra lift. This past year, we also sent 125 people to the National Down Syndrome Congress, which is the oldest medical, educational, technological disability organization in the country that is birth to adulthood on all things related on how you help kids and adults learn and grow and be their best selves, and who happen to have Down syndrome. In addition, we had 5 area doctors that we sent to the Down Syndrome Medical Interest Group there, which is fascinating. In addition to that, at the same time that we did that, we sent a family to the RYR1 conference, which is only held every 2 years. That was in Pittsburgh. We sent multiple area teachers and therapists to the National Conference on ADHD. We sent teachers and therapists and families to the National Autism Conference. We sent families to Bridging the Gap, which is on alternate augmentative communication, again, designed to help children learn. We sent people to the National Association for Early, NACE is what it's called, National Association Education, Youth and Children. I don't remember what the exact acronym for. We sent multiple teachers to, it's called the Innovative Schools Summit. We sent a superintendent to the rural, it's a rural, a national conference on rural education. We sent, my gosh, I'm trying to remember everything. This is off the top of my head here.
Like,
Let me
wow.
ask you a question. Just
That's
because,
impressive.
like, we see it, you see it, with everything and how it helps and everything like that. To the person driving, watching, what have you, you hear all these conferences, which is awesome, right? From your vantage point in the years that this has all been, a thing, how has that helped in the sense of where we are now in 2025?
Okay. So, well, one of the things that all of our scholarship recipients have to do is they have to pay it forward.
Right.
And a pay it forward, think of your love languages. It can be through donating a service, aka gift giving. It can be through providing basically actual using the words, like giving a presentation in an area school or to others. It can be any of those different things as the pay it forward. And so I think the biggest thing that I see now is that we have an expert base here in the tri-state. And you can say, what do you mean an expert base? Well, if I have a family come to me and they have a child who they're considering alternate augmentative communication, I have multiple different people who've chosen to focus on that. If I have a family who's needing feeding support, we have therapists who've chosen to focus on feeding and swallowing and those types of support. We have occupational therapists who've specialized in the fine motor areas. We have doctors who have chosen to be part of Project Echo, where they can connect to the biggest expert base in the world, not just in the country, in the world, on things going on. We have people who've chosen to focus on inclusion. We've had people who've chosen to focus on executive function, i.e., children with ADHD. We've had people who now can talk about sleep apnea and hopefully beginning to get people to understand that, ADHD can mimic the signs of sleep apnea. So it's more, there's this conversation that's gotten started. And very often, no different. I got off the phone this morning. I had a phone call. There's a baby that's going to be born here in the tri-state area, although they're going to have to go to St. Louis to be born. They think the baby may have Down syndrome, and they're asking for, different, what do we do? What should we do? What's this going to look like? And the answer is, well, first of all, congratulations. Second of all, we need to have the baby born before we can see what we need to do, because right now it's just a baby. And we can go from there. But I think there is that. And I think you both speak to this. It also has become a family that believes in things that are possible. Yeah. And so the coolest thing, I think, is very often some of our strongest supporters, advocates, if you like that word, actually are people who maybe don't have a child with a disability, but they've now been around our organization and they've begun to see what's possible. So when they're in their area school, or when they're in their area, and they see a child, maybe perhaps who's having autism, who they go, oh, wait, I learned, this is they're having, just a behavioral moment, they need a break. Or if they see, a child whose AAC device has been taken away, they're advocating for that. So, Rome wasn't built in a day, and Downcountry is kind of an example of that. I mean, it's 15 years in, and we're still working really hard to help get our children included here in the tri-states. And part of it is the system itself is, for lack of a better word, really built against people with disabilities. It's built to... it's built and designed. The word that a lot of the people use is, well, it's designed to support them. Well, but it's also, in many ways, can handcuff them because from such an early age, very often they're labeled and then they aren't taught and they aren't exposed and they're, for lack of a better, quote unquote, protected. And it's not that I don't want our children and adults with disabilities, but there is a natural life experience that I want them to be able to enjoy to the fullest ability that they are able. Make sense?
Yes, absolutely. And I think that 15 years ago, if you had a child who had Down syndrome, you'd have to go somewhere else to get services, and much the same as this family, they're having their baby in St. Louis, totally different scenario, I would assume. But as far as like day in and day out kind of services, it's been developed here. Quincy is removed from St. Louis and Chicago, Springfield, but we're kind of becoming... We're often more of a specialty kind of, is that a good way to say it? Just like specialty services here through Downcountry, through all these individuals who are now well-versed in different parts of what is it like when you do learn differently.
Well, and also, some of the things, I think we talked about this the other day on the whole, how we focus on the way children learn, you know what I mean? And you can't have it all, you know what I mean? Like, I do think, like, if you want your kid included, there are things like tutoring that you need to do after school. There's other pieces that if you aren't part of the educational system or part of the medical system, that you simply don't know. And so when you have parent, teacher, therapist, doctor, nurse, all talking, and counselor all talking, working, and community member all speaking together, well, then we're learning, and it makes it easier to navigate, to help each child, each adult get what they truly deserve best. But we can't do that if we aren't all working together. For now, this is #everyone talking about #everything. Good Sunday morning. This is #everyone talking about #everything. I'm Kate Doherty with the Radical Ryan, the Practically Perfect Penny. Lovely Laura has loofed us, and Magnificent Mac. We're Macless. We're Macless. In the first segment, we talked about Downcountry. We talked about basically the last year, some of the different things that we've done. I know I didn't even cover close to all of them, but it was a lot. Yeah. And we talked about Rhinestones and Rodeo, which you can get your tickets today up at downcountry.com. Up at downcountry.com. You have questions, you can call
217-617-3568.
And we were delighted to have you, and we truly hope that you will come and join us. One of the things in this segment that I want to talk about, and we're going to let you guys kind of, I've never done this before, but I'm going to give you a sneak peek at some of the quotes for Rhinestones and Rodeo.
Love it.
They go with the paintings.
Yes,
right?
they go with the paintings.
Artwork.
It's one of the things people always ask about, like, where does this come from? And the answer is God. Because the artwork is created by amazing individuals from all over the tri-state area. And, oh, goodness gracious. Sorry, I'm trying to get my PowerPoint to pop
That's
open.
okay. That's all right. You got this.
I do have this. I'm very proud of myself, Ryan. I'm on the ball today. I mean, miracles happen every day.
Always.
Tis the
Always.
season
Tis
of
the
miracles,
season.
by
That's
the way.
right.
I
That's
would
right.
actually beg to, just bring out there. Come on, open up,
It's almost
Sally.
there. It's almost there. Bear with us, ladies and gentlemen.
Well,
She's
but
working very hard.
Well, and I know you're not going to like this at all, Kate. So buckle in.
Great.
But I mean, just listening to you rattle off all of the different things and events and activities and workshops, et cetera, that have taken place just this year. And you didn't even probably get through half of them, I
Not
would
even
assume.
close.
But that was just off the top of your head. And I don't know about anybody else that's listening, or Ryan, you as well. I mean, this is December, 2nd? I mean, my brain's like, okay, what am I going to get this kid for Christmas? What am I going to do? And you have all this other stuff that's like in your head. In fact, I'm thinking, wow, I got Thanksgiving pulled off. That's awesome. It was a great meal. Now I got to prepare another meal in Christmas. I mean, you got all this other stuff going on. And then pop into Kate's world. Here she is. She's got everybody. You can't see. She's got a little perfect little slides printed out. She's got this calendar going. She's got her computer going. I mean, this brain. Talk about healthy ADHD. You got it, girl. Yay! It's healthy. Never look at a diagnosis as a bad thing. I'm not saying you're diagnosed with that. But if I were to, speculate, there's a good chance that you're a very healthy ADD.
Oh, well,
Fair enough, that's right. That's right.
thank you. Possibly. either that or the chaos coordinator.
I love it.
As my mom used to say, she was the director of a sinking ship. It may be that.
Oh, I love that too. But I think we all have. I have ADD, so I'm saying it with all love and respect, not any criticalness at all.
No, it's none taken. None taken.
Oh, and then you're planning this Rhinestones and Rodeo. That's where I was going with it. January what? 10th.
January 10th. Cannot wait.
I don't even know how she does it all.
I don't know. I still don't know.
Well, you don't.
Did you at least get the slides pulled up, though?
I did. The
Okay,
slides
there
are
it
pulled
is.
up.
That's right. That's good job.
So
Hey.
the slides are pulled up because I actually, just to kind of sneak peek, because now you have to come to Rhinestones and Rodeo if you want to see the artwork that's paired with it. But okay, so the first quote is, "You do not just wake up and become the butterfly. Growth is a process."
Nice.
And it's Rupi Kaur is who said
that.
that. Isn't that great?
I like that.
So, and for those of you who don't know, the butterfly is actually one of the symbols for within the Down syndrome community because it's the metamorphosis of change that you go through. I mean, so anyway, and just as a disability community as a whole, but I love that, but growth is a process. You don't just wake up and become the butterfly. I think it's, really love that
No,
one.
I really like that one.
Okay. So the next one, this is a Penny quote. I feel like I feel like
go.
she could say it. "Your attitude is like a box of crayons that color your world." Alan Klein.
Oh my gosh, that is so big because I've always said, oh man, let's get a box of 124 crayons and we can just do whatever we want to do. Don't get a box of 8. Mm-hmm. Get a whole bunch. Yeah. Okay. Gosh,
Well,
that is so
like
neat.
even, I like it too because I'm also like, when you think about that, like what color are you going to use? Mm-hmm. You know
Yeah,
what
what
I mean?
choices,
Like you have 120 box of crayons, and I guess there's a lot of shades of gray there, and there's a lot of shades of cream and white, but there's also several different shades of black and brown. Are those the colors you're going to use, or are you going to go sunshine yellow? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like what are you going to choose to do?
I like that.
Okay, now this one.
Use that analogy all the time. Go ahead.
Okay,
I
so
might have
this
to buy
one I
that
feel like is so profound. Are you ready?
Yes.
And again, kind of going back, remember 2 Corinthians 12:9 is our scripture verse, but I just really like this, and I've never really pondered it, but I think it's very cool. It was the bumblebee and the butterfly who survived, not the dinosaur. Mère de la Sur. Isn't that awesome? It was the bumblebee and the butterfly who survived.
So
not
small
the-
and mighty is pretty important.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Like, I know that. Sorry, just love that
No,
quote
that's a
because I
good
feel
one.
like,
That's a really good one.
I mean, like,
Yeah, because I
picture
mean,
do you
you,
put that with?
you
That's
think
so
you
cool.
got to be this big, strong. You got to have it all.
you got to be
but
all
it's
the
like,
things.
No, you don't, because big things come in small packages.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
I
that's- yeah.
feel like it also goes along with like
Yeah.
just the whole. Yeah, I
a good
sorry,
one.
really
good.
like
I
that
like
one.
that a lot.
People often say that beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and I say that the most liberating thing about beauty is realizing that you are the beholder.
Nice.
This empowers us to find beauty in places where others have not dared to look, including inside ourselves. Salma Hayek. Isn't that good?
That's good.
I really like. I mean, see, I told you. I mean, like, sorry, like
Yeah.
That's good.
the quotes this year are just. And, yeah, when you see
You just
some
have
of
like
these
a. You
things,
just have like a quote day. You just have like a quote day. when
you
go out.
have to like.
Yeah.
You have to do a lot of prayer, and you have to just
like that.
immerse yourself.
I can see you sitting on the sofa with your blankie, your hot
quote.
chocolate, wink,
Yeah.
wink, and you're like, oh, here's another one. Oh, here's another
Ooh,
one,
that's a good
and
one.
you just have this huge file of ideas.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's got to go with the art. So it is one of my favorite things to do, and I do love art. I mean, I may not be a jock. We all know this,
But you love the art.
I do. I love art and music
right.
very much. I wish I could sing. I wish I could paint. I can do neither, but
You love the art.
I do like words.
That's right.
So I feel like this is my thing. Okay. Now, this one, I will say, I love this quote, but I struggle with this one so badly.
Uh-oh.
Wherever you are, be there totally.
Oh, yeah. That's a good
Wherever
one.
you are, be there totally. Not on the phone, not on the laptop, not thinking about what's coming next, not be there in the moment.
That's probably the hardest thing to do for everyone
Yeah,
nowadays.
I think so.
Because like we are told, not told, but like we think that we have to be doing everything.
Yes.
That like if we're not, we're behind, or we're gonna struggle, or someone's gonna leapfrog us, or X, Y, Z. But the reality, like, and let me say it this way: there's not to say that you can't do that, because there are benefits to it, but there are certain situations that be in the present. Like I don't know, the one that comes to mind for me is something that I try to do as a dad now is like when my dad came home from work, he was home. Like he wasn't, what's going on at work. Now, obviously, granted, there were times, and he'd get a phone call, whatever. But when he was home, and all right, I'm going to be a dad. For me, I try to do the same thing. When I'm home, like, what are we doing? Like, we're home. Granted, are there things that come up? Yes. But I think that's where that quote kind of lies with me. And then there's other ways to look at it. Try to be in the moment.
Yeah.
And live in that.
Years ago, I read a book, and it was a book
That's
about
good.
a family's experience with Down syndrome, like about their baby had to have the heart surgery. And there's a line in the book, I wish I could remember the name, but where he talks about being in the hospital, being there next to the monitors, and he uses the be in the moment. And, everybody tells you to be in the moment, and he said, here we were in the moment for the worst possible you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I will say, like, it really that line from his book really resonated with me, because I remember, like, man, when you have a loved one who's in the hospital, and you know this from when your dad was, like, Ryan's dad went through cancer and COVID and a lot of
All the
different things.
yeah.
But when you were in a hospital and you were looking to that or the beep, 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 I mean, like,
lot.
you really are. I mean, like, you are in the moment for not a good reason.
Yeah.
So I really like this quote, wherever you are, they'll be there totally, because, like, I don't want to wait for the worst moment. I want to be there totally in my best moments. Make sense?
Yeah. Have you ever been in that moment? Because I'm thinking about that example, like when you're in the hospital and you hear the sound. I've been in situations like that, and I'm like, wow, it just really humbles you. It just plants you firmly in the ground, and on the floor, I should say, and you're just like so aware. You're like, I don't want to ever lose this feeling. And then all of a sudden it's gone. It's just like, I don't know if it's you walk outside that building and you put your feet on the pavement, you get in the car or whatever, and then you lose it, and I just find that so fascinating, because I didn't even think about how I had lost that until you just said that. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been in that position where you're like, oh, everything is no longer important but this moment.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're just like, oh, but I got to get this done. I got to get so annoying. So
Well, I
annoying.
mean, it happens. So
Yes,
yeah,
I
no,
like it.
I just think
Good
there's a
point.
lot of things in there. Okay, so this is a Roy T. Bennett quote, and I love his quotes are amazing. Believe in your infinite potential. Your only limitations are those you set upon yourself.
It's true.
Good.
It's very true.
Yeah, I have this whole thing about, like you are what you eat, or you are what you know. I with my kids, like even it's hard when you're a kid, you know, because kids say things, and you know, I mean, well, it's hard when you're an adult. People say things, and I'm like, you know what, guys, you don't listen to the people who aren't where you want to be.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like, listen to the people who are where you want to be, where you want to go. Like, though, you know, like doing the things you want to do, you can listen to them, you can take direction from them. But if somebody is not, like, haters are going to hate.
Oh,
and you just got to let them do their thing.
Let them do them, and you do you, kind of thing. Yeah, I like that.
Okay, now I really like this one. I'd never heard. We have a lot of new quotes this year. I think that's part of the reason why, like, not new necessarily, but really kind of like went differently. We don't do a lot of repeating from year to year on quotes, but we have over. You know what I mean? Like, you kind of, if the art calls for it. But anyway, this one is, "I am here for a purpose, and that purpose is to grow into a mountain, not to shrink to a grain of sand. Henceforth will I apply all my efforts to become the highest mountain of all, and I will strain my potential until it cries for mercy."
Ooh.
Not
Ooh.
good?
Got some chills.
I just,
That's a good one. I like
mean,
that one.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
And if you see the piece of art it goes with, you're really
That's
I
going
was
to
the
gonna
other
like it.
say, yeah. Do you look at the
Absolutely.
wait, I didn't know how to ask that. Do you look at the picture and then go find a quote for it, or do you find a quote and then it goes to the picture? Did that make sense?
So
Yeah, that
I
makes sense.
collect quotes all year long.
Okay.
Like that you know, maybe move me this, that, and the other. But I keep them like in a R&R quote file. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like this is, you know, and because you might be on the subway, you might be on like, or somebody will say something. And so I do keep like a big quote database, for lack of a better word, that's accumulated. However, we don't, I don't, until you see the piece. So in answer to your question, you have to see the art, and then you can go find the quote.
And then you find the quote.
But it helps if you research quotes throughout the years, so you kind of have an idea of what you're looking for.
Okay.
Anyway, Ryan's been waving at me now for a little bit. So for now, this is hashtag everyone, talking about hashtag everything. We'll be right back. Good Sunday morning. This is hashtag everyone, talking about hashtag everything. I'm Kate Doherty.
I feel like
with
I
the
need-
practically perfect Penny, the radical Ryan, no lovely Laura. She's Luftus, and we're Macless today.
Macless.
Yeah, I know, right?
Ridiculous.
We have been going through Rhinestones and Rodeo quotes. This is the third and final segments. We hope that you're getting your tickets. It's a great Christmas presents up at downcountry.com.
Smart.
We hope
Stocking stuffers.
but yeah, I mean, you can also make a donation as a present too. You know, I mean, like all the things. Wonderful. But we're doing something a little different this year. We're going through the quotes for Rhinestones and Rodeo because they do play a part. The quotes go with the art. And we're hoping that after you hear these quotes, you'll decide you need to come and see the art. So anyway, this next quote comes from Pope John the 23rd. Consult not your fears, but your hopes and dreams. Think not about your frustrations, but about your unfulfilled potential. Concern yourself not with what you tried and failed in, but with what it is still possible for you to do.
Nice.
I like
That's
it.
a good
I
one.
like it. Good job,
Good
Pope
one.
John.
No.
The 23rd.
Like
Okay.
it.
So this next one, there was, when you see the piece of art that goes with this, there is no other way. But this, have you read The Velveteen Rabbit to your kids yet?
I don't think we have. I know what you're talking about, but I don't
You
think we have
got to
yet.
get this book. I am a
Okay.
Velveteen Rabbit girl. If you're listening to the show and you have grandchildren or children, I highly suggest you go get the Velveteen Rabbit.
Okay.
It is a wonderful children's book by Marjorie Williams Blanco. However, it has so much more deeper adult meanings. And so here you go. Real isn't how you are made, said the skin horse. It's a thing that happens to you. When a child loves you for a long, long time, not just to play with, but really loves you, then you become real. Does it hurt? Asked the rabbit. Sometimes, said the skin horse, for he was always truthful. When you are real, you don't mind being hurt. Does it happen all at once, like being wound up, he asked, or bit by bit? It doesn't happen all at once, said the skin horse. You become. It takes a long time. That's why it doesn't happen often to people who break easily or have sharp edges or who have to be carefully kept. Generally, by the time you are real, most of your hair has been loved off and your eyes drop out and you get loose in the joints and very shabby. But these things don't matter at all because once you are real, You can't be ugly, except to people who don't understand.
That's wonderful.
Isn't it neat? Sorry, I mean,
Like
so
that.
I just love the Velveteen Rabbit.
That's
It's
a
so
And that's
good.
going to go with a painting.
Yes, that goes with the painting.
that's
It's
interesting.
wonderful. It's a wonderful, wonderful painting. I'm so
nice.
excited. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And then, okay, now there's no way I can pronounce the gentleman's name. Tagore, I think, is, and the first name I'm not even going to attempt.
Sure.
But clouds come floating in my life, no longer carry rain or usher storm, but to add color to my sunset sky.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that cool?
That's how you
works.
view it.
Like, I know,
Yeah.
isn't it good?
I like
Yep.
that.
I feel like we have a theme. It's all in
We
how you
do.
view it.
Yeah, that's how you look at things.
Now, I did just skip past the placeholder for the Pappy Van Winkle that'll be in the auction,
Uh-oh.
so there is
Uh-oh.
that
Uh-oh.
for my. Anyway, okay, so this next one is by Joel Osteen. God puts people in our lives on purpose so we can help them succeed and help them become all He created them to be. Most people will not reach their full potential without somebody else believing in them.
Oh my gosh, I love that. You know why I love that? Because it wasn't about you. You know, it's all about what you are here for someone else. I think sometimes we're so flippin' self-centered that we think it's all about what is somebody going to do for us at that friend. That's where I thought that quote was going to go. It's like friends come into your life, they serve a purpose, and then they move on. Well, no, it's about you
Yeah.
giving to somebody else. Oh,
Yeah. So
Love it.
I don't know if I've ever told you the story. One of the maddest I've ever made my dad is I said something to him when I was probably about 15, 16. You know, that age when he thinks I wasn't listening to him.
Of
I really
course,
was
yeah.
listening to him. I just, I was 15, 16.
and you were overly confident. In
I
your-
was overly confident
in your
then.
attitude.
Then I was my Ella girl. I knew everything. Then I
Right.
was so smart. But I remember saying something to him about being a self-made man. He got so angry with me. He said, "There's no such thing." And I go, "What?" And he's like, "There's absolutely nothing that I've done or will ever be able to do that I would not, that I could not have, that was not helped because I was helped by my parents. You know, I had a wonderful father. I had a wonderful mother. They did." He's like, "There is no such thing as a self-made man because everybody receives help in some such way."
That's awesome.
Whether it's, and it doesn't have to necessarily be from parents, it can be from community. And I was just such a radical thing, and it's always stuck with me. And I've always thought about, like, you know what I mean? People go, "Oh, you did that." No, actually, there's all these. And I mean, think about it. Even in your sports career, right?
Well, it's
you
why-
had coaches,
Yeah.
you had
Yeah,
teachers,
yeah.
you had parents, you had guys. I mean, like, there isn't.
Look, I think at the end of the day, like we obviously are one of the biggest reasons we've accomplished things because you have to do it. But it's why, if you really think about it, let's just say I'll just use this. If you're up for an award, right? And you go up to the stage and you are presented the award, 99.999% of the time, and the nines go on, you are saying thank you to XYZ person. Because at the end of the day, it's not just a thing you throw out there. At the end of the day, if it isn't for said people, friends, family, coworkers, what have you, you aren't where you are. It's a combination of both. You have to have the
Yes.
mindset to
Yes.
accomplish it or to do whatever that may be. But I'm getting help from Kate or Penny or whomever, my wife, whatever it is, that maybe it isn't necessarily that they gave me the answer, but because something they did pointed me into a direction or whatever and changed my perspective, it pointed me in the correct answer that I then found out. But it wasn't, I didn't do that unless it was for somebody
Right.
else.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
So
that.
now we're going past the placeholder for the Judy Moss Oakley
Uh-oh.
baseball tickets that we always donate in honor of the late Judy Moss. Those
Love
are the Commanders seats at the St. Louis Cardinals baseball game.
Love it.
Really good. All right, next up. Stop limiting your potential. Realize there's an unlimited amount of things that you can do with your life. Sonia Parker.
Okay.
It's true. We're not just confined to one thing.
No?
Yeah,
do
it's
a
like the
lot.
word can't.
No,
Yeah.
this is
Hate
by
the word
Marcus Tullius Cicero. The face is a picture of the mind with the eye as its interpreter. Went deep there.
Ooh.
You want me to
Say
repeat
that
it?
again. Yeah, say that again. Penny
The
pondering.
face is a picture of the mind with the eyes as its interpreter.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's deep. You'll have to see.
very deep.
You have to
But
see the
haven't you-
artwork that goes with it.
Okay.
Like, but yeah, the face is a picture of the mind with the eyes as its interpreter.
But do you ever look at people's eyes and you can just see there's happiness in there, even though,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, sometimes I look in the mirror, I'm like, Okay, what am I seeing in my own eyes? All right, move
All
on.
right.
You.
It is only okay. Good. Leads right into the next quote. It is only with the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye. Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. It is only with the heart that one
We might
can
as well get a
see
shovel.
rightly.
These are getting deep.
Dig it
I
away
need a
here.
bulldozer.
Man.
Okay, potential is a priceless treasure like gold. All of us have gold hidden within, but we have to dig to get it out. Joyce Meyer.
There's another
Ooh,
digging one.
good.
Yeah.
There's digging. Yep.
Digging away.
You, like the little caterpillar, will grow up, unfold your wings, and fly off in the future. Eric Carle.
Good.
I like that.
Gotta grow.
Okay, this one is so good. This one's kind of Ella inspired.
Uh-oh.
The horse is a mirror to your soul. Sometimes you might not like what you see. Sometimes you will. Buck Brannaman. Isn't that good?
Ooh.
A mirror to your soul. Sometimes you might not like what you see. Sometimes you will. True.
That's interesting. I know this is totally goofy, but we had a dog when the kids were little. And so, here we are raising 3 children and busy schedule lives, etc. And we got this little
Yeah.
little creature dog. Okay, I don't know. It was just
It wasn't
creature.
a real dog. It was
It
a
was-
baby dog.
Creature
Well, we
dog.
had a name for it, but I can't say it on radio. It was a creature dog. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, this dog's driving me nuts. And da-da-da-da. And one of my friends said, a dog is a representation of the family.
Oh my God.
Talk about reflection. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
oh. Well, thankfully the dog found somewhere else to live and moved on. And it just makes you realize it was a reflection of us because this dog was like Satan's spawn. I don't know. It was so
to
weird.
know.
But it's the same concept with the horse. It's just like, what the heck? So,
Okay.
But this dog now is great because we're great now.
Fantastic. That's
Sure.
right. That's
Right. I can tell.
Told you it was a bad example.
I like it though.
Individually, we are one drop. Together, we are an ocean. Satori.
Nice.
Man.
And this next, it's every child is like every child. Long story. You'll have to see it. It's a Sam Dancer thing. But anyway, the quote that goes with it is, there was a child went forth every day, and the first object he looked upon and received with wonder or pity or love or dread, that object he became. And that object became part of him for the day or a certain part of the day or for many years or stretching cycle of years. Walt Whitman. One of my favorite all times.
Yeah.
It was in my actually teaching philosophy. Like I put that in my portfolio whenever I put it together. I love it.
Deep.
Everything that a child comes in contact with, it becomes part of them. Anyway,
True.
love it.
They like to consume things.
Okay, and then obviously we already did.
Start putting everything in their mouth. Becomes part of them,
That's good.
Huh. I just realized I used the same quote twice. That my 2 Corinthians 12:9. I'm gonna have to
Uh-oh.
come up with another quote for this piece of art that I did. I did it twice. Obviously,
It must have been
it's-
very good.
It was very good. It takes sunshine and rain to make a rainbow. There would be no rainbows without sunshine and rain. Roy T. Bennett.
It's all on how you look at it.
Isn't that cool?
That's really good.
So yeah.
Good. Okay, so now I feel very enlightened.
You
I
feel
really
very enlightened?
do. I do.
Right.
It's just like
Now you want to see all the art, don't you?
I do want to see
Yes.
which ones you put with it. No, you do. You can't help it. Just once again, it's like being in the moment. It's just like we stopped, and Ryan and I were like, and Ryan would say, "Penny, you can tell you're thinking." We're
That's
like,
right.
But
You
we
know,
all should
I-
take time to do this, which is the beauty. Sorry, this helpless plug of the benefits of doing these kind of things. And go to Rhinestones and Rodeo, people, and you'll have even more fun and more enlightening experiences. Sorry, I haven't done.
No, it is good to rent. Well, and I will say something. I was very fortunate many years ago to have a speech teacher. Her name was April Langwell, and she was lovely. And I have spoken about her on this show before. But one segment of her class, which, I mean, probably with all the credits and stuff that you need now, I'm not even sure you could teach this class, but it was honestly the most valuable class I ever took. And this entire quarter was you were assigned a poet, and you had a poem that you had to memorize, that you had to give. I mean, you had to be 100% memorized in front of the class. You had to give it. And then there was a quote, like there were quotes from everybody's, Walt Whitman, Kipling, just probably 150 different poets. And the test was literally she gave you the quote, and you had to say who it went with. And those were the only 2 grades, your speech and the grade. But it was awesome. I still have my book of all those quotes. And weirdly, this is going to sound weird, no different than just how we sat. We don't I don't think as a people we spend a lot of time like sitting around thinking about some of the things, and I think it's actually really healthy to do, to like kind of think about, oh wait, I agree with that, or oh wait, I do that. I think self-reflection is a really important thing. Anyway, I hope Ryan's waving at me, which means it's coming to a close. One, I hope you are in the moment this holiday season. I hope that you will get those tickets up at downcountry.com to Rhinestones and Rodeo January 10th. They make great Christmas presents, and we would be grateful and delighted to have you there. Otherwise, go be present with your friends and family this holiday season. Be blessed.